TAO TE CHING 31. Weapons are the tools of violence. All decent men detest them. Weapons are the tools of fear. A decent man will avoid them except in the direst necessity and, if compelled, will use them only with the utmost restraint. Peace is his highest value. If the peace has been shattered, how can he be content? His enemies are not demons, but human beings like himself. He doesn't wish them personal harm, nor does he rejoice in victory. How could he rejoice in victory and delight in the slaughter of men? He enters a battle gravely, with sorrow and with great compassion, as if he were attending a funeral. Fine weapons are tools of misfortune. People hate them. So one who has TAO does not live by them. The nobleman usually honors the left, but when he commands troops he honors the right. Weapons are tools of misfortune. They are not the tools of a nobleman. When using them, it's best to be restrained. If you are victorious, don't embrace it. If you embrace it, you enjoy killing people. One who enjoys killing people can't get what he wants in the world. Good things always on the left, bad things always on the right. The lieutenant general stands on the left, the general stands on the right. Treat it like a funeral ceremony. Many people are killed, pitiful cries of sorrow. Victory in war should be treated like a funeral ceremony. So a nobleman is a refined gentleman of high rank. Unlike in the West, Chinese culture has no bias against the left hand. And an old saying is, the left eye sees wealth, the right eye sees disaster. The Chinese character for left, zuo, contains the symbol, meaning work. But the character for right, yoi, contains the symbol, meaning mouth and suggesting speaking or eating. So again, you have your left-right hemisphere illusion here. In my view, I would say, the left eye being connected to the right brain being more visual, more irrational, more connected, more intuitive, more, again, being more irrational means seeing the oneness or the unseen connections to everything, right? Whereas the right eye would be from the left brain would be seeing how things separate and rationalizing things. So that's your left and right hemisphere that you got going on here for your funeral service and your good and your bad. And then your associations with the right hemisphere of the brain would be the feminine would be the dark, and then all the illusions throughout the Tao of the darkness being the mystery and the darkness making you shine and everything. The path into the light seems dark, and the dark being basically like the well house for the light. So that's the illusions there for your left and right towards the end of 31. 31 is actually in the oldest Tao Te Ching, or supposedly the oldest living copy of the Tao Te Ching. 31 is actually the end of the book. It's another reason why I didn't have any music on this one, because technically this would be the end as far as the physical copies go. The other 50, they might have been Lao Tzu. That might have been Lao Tzu. They might have been him. They might have been Lao Tzu. You know what I mean? That could have been this guy. I don't know. If this guy ever existed, however you want to look at it, I don't know. I feel like if it was a male, he closely observed his grandmother, and that's why he alludes to the Tao being called the Great Mother and everything. So anyway, because in 80 you have another mentioning of weapons, and it's just a different. Everything's kaleidoscopic in this book, the views, but weapons are definitely obviously as far as law of attraction and the tools of fear, all decent men detest them, and it's saying in the previous passage before this one that all violence eventually comes on yourself. So you only will use them in the direst necessity, to maintain peace, if it really has to come to that point. And if it does come to that point, there's no way that you can feel good about it, because again, your enemies make you stronger. So killing people doesn't make you feel better about it. It's not something that you should delight in. Again, it just shows your posture and where your consciousness, your awareness is, if you do delight in it. And so yeah, it just entering battle gravely with sorrow and great compassion while attending a funeral. Again, this is all about etiquette in life in general. Entering battle gravely, however, walking softly. All the descriptions of the people that are the great masters. If you are of these descriptions, if you are of this likeness, of this humility, then you become one with the Tao. And I'm gonna still go through the other 51 from the other stanzas of the Tao Te Ching, but this is technically 31 is the end for the oldest physical copy, if that's true.